Welcome to the Audiobook, the Sales Bible by Jeffrey Gitomer. In this book, you'll learn how to succeed in sales by building real relationships and delivering true value. No tricks. No fluff. Jeffrey Gitomer reminds us that selling is not about manipulation, it's about trust. It's about showing up every day and caring about your customers. It's about doing small things consistently to build big success. Here's what this summary will help you with: how to earn respect and credibility, how to speak with confidence and honesty, how to handle objections without conflict, how to keep going after a no without being pushy, simple habits that lead to consistent sales growth. Gitomer shares stories and practical tips that are easy to remember and apply. Whether you're just starting or have been selling for decades, this book gives you the mindset and simple tools to improve every day. Headphone Chapter 1. The commitment. In this opening chapter, Gitomer makes one thing crystal clear: your mindset is everything. Without real commitment, sales skills alone won't get you far. He explains that successful salespeople don't rely on mood or luck. They make a daily choice to bring energy, integrity, and persistence to their work. He calls this choice a personal brand promise, the pledge you make to yourself and your customers. It includes showing up on time, answering questions sincerely, and living by your word. Gitomer stresses that when you operate from commitment instead of fear or obligation, your actions become consistent, your confidence grows, and your results follow. He also talks about how negative self-talk thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "What if they say no?" holds you back. Every day starts in your mind. If you tell yourself you can't, your customers will sense it. But if you promise yourself to rise, to learn, to add value, your customers will sense that too. It shines through. By the end of the chapter, the main message is this: decide who and how you want to be. Every day, live into that promise. And when you do, selling becomes less stressful and more of an authentic expression of your values. Headphone Chapter 2. You're the brand. In this chapter, Gitomer reminds us that in sales, you are the product. Your attitude, appearance, energy, and reputation all matter more than any brochure or demo. People buy from people they like, trust, and believe in. Every interaction, whether on the phone, in email, or face-to-face, is a chance to reinforce your personal brand. Show up prepared, be on time, speak clearly, dress appropriately, and genuinely care about solving your customer's problem. These might seem like small details, but they build into a powerful image, one of professionalism, reliability, and authenticity. Gitomer also makes the point that your brand is defined by consistency. One great meeting won't make you a trusted seller if you're late, rushed, or disinterested in the next. Honoring your word over and over builds trust. And once that trust is earned, conversations become easier, referrals come organically, and success follows naturally. By the end of this chapter, it's clear: your brand is more than your product, it's you. Treat every moment as an opportunity to strengthen it. Show up strong, build trust, and people will want to do business with you again and again. Headphone Chapter 3. Ask questions, don't tell stories. In this chapter, Gitomer shows us the power of asking the right questions rather than launching into a pitch. He explains that most salespeople spend too much time talking and too little time listening. When you ask meaningful questions, you quickly discover what your customer really needs and cares about. You open the door to a genuine connection. He encourages using strategic questions like, "What's most important to you about this decision?" or "What would make this solution a no-brainer?" These aren't just polite conversation, they're tools for uncovering pain points, priorities, and desires. And when you truly listen to the answers, your follow-up becomes targeted, valuable, and deeply relevant. Gitomer also highlights how questions build ownership. When someone says, "This solution solves X, Y, and Z, what do you think?" they stop being passive listeners and start mentally applying your ideas to their real situation. It's a simple shift, but it turns every conversation into a collaborative experience. But this approach only works when you let the questions land and apply. Too often, salespeople ask and immediately jump into their pitch. Gitomer pushes you to pause, truly absorb, and respond thoughtfully. A well-placed silence after a question gives space for honesty, and gives you the insight you need. By the end of the chapter, you understand that powerful questions are the gateways to trust, relevance, and clarity. Instead of selling features, you're guiding discovery, and when your client discovers your product solves their challenge, the sale becomes natural. Headphone Chapter 4. Communicate with confidence. In this chapter, Gitomer dives into how vital strong, confident communication is in sales. He explains that how you say something often matters more than what you say. Your tone, body language, and the energy behind your words tell your customer whether they're dealing with someone who truly believes in the product and cares about their needs. Gitomer recommends speaking clearly and with purpose, no mumbling, no trailing off. Stand or sit tall. Make eye contact. Let your belief in the solution shine through in your voice and posture. These nonverbal cues build credibility and create comfort. He also reminds us that confidence isn't about never having doubts, it's about preparing thoroughly so your doubt doesn't show up. Know your product inside and out. Know how it solves real problems. When questions come, answer calmly. When objections arise, address them directly. That preparation builds trust. Another powerful point is using simple, emphatic language. Gitomer says jargon, vagueness, and filler words weaken your message. Instead, speak in concrete terms. Here's what we do and how it matters to you. Keep your sentences direct and your tone positive. By the end of the chapter, the message is clear. Confident communication creates credibility, and credibility is the foundation of sales. When your customer senses that you know and care, the conversation flows naturally, questions become discussions, and decisions happen with ease. Headphone Chapter 5. Handle objections with grace. In this chapter, Gitomer discusses one of the most crucial, and often misunderstood, aspects of sales, objections. Instead of viewing them as roadblocks, he encourages us to see objections as valuable opportunities. When a customer voices a concern, it means they're still interested. They just need clarity, reassurance, or a slight pivot to see how your solution fits. Gitomer suggests welcoming objections with curiosity. Tell me more about what's holding you back. That simple question shifts the conversation from resistance to discovery. What's important here is that you don't argue or become defensive. You listen. You empathize. And then you clarify how your offer addresses their specific concern. He offers a 3-step response method. 1. Validate. Acknowledge their concern genuinely. I understand why you'd feel that way. 2. Explain. Provide relevant information that speaks directly to their worry. Here's how we handle that with this feature. 3. Confirm. Ask a follow-up. Does that help ease your concern? This approach doesn't just resolve doubts, it builds trust. It shows that you respect their feelings, understand their situation, and truly care about their outcome. Gitomer also highlights a key mindset shift. Objections aren't personal, they're logical signals. They're not saying no, they're asking, help me understand. When you adopt that mindset, objections become your best tool for steering the conversation rather than derailing it. By the end of the chapter, the takeaway is clear. Handling objections gracefully isn't about winning an argument, it's about guiding the customer to clarity and confidence. When they feel heard and helped, they move closer to yes, with conviction. Headphone Chapter 6. Stay positive and persistent. In this chapter, Gitomer explains why successful selling is a marathon, not a sprint. He reminds us that positivity and persistence are two of the most powerful traits a salesperson can have. Without them, you give up before the breakthrough, before the next, yes, that's just around the corner. Gitomer shares that rejection isn't a sign to quit, it's part of the process. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Each interaction, whether it results in a sale or a polite decline, teaches you more about your customers, your message, and your approach. The key is to learn, adjust, and move forward with a fresh mindset. He encourages maintaining a positive routine each day. Start with something uplifting, reading, affirmations, or reflecting on small wins. That routine helps you show up with energy, even on tough days. Positivity isn't fake enthusiasm. It's trusting that your effort matters and good results will come. Persistence, Gitomer says, isn't nagging. It's consistent follow-up, staying in touch with value, and not giving up after 1 or 2 attempts. A gentle check-in when your product suits a client's needs isn't pushy, it's helpful. And often, that's the moment they decide you really care. By chapter's end, the message is clear: great salespeople don't get lucky, they endure. They root themselves in positivity and push forward with purpose. When you combine belief with effort, you're not chasing sales, you're building success. Headphone Chapter 7. Learn from every no. Sales is full of no's. In this chapter, Gitomer flips the script. Instead of fearing rejection, we should use each no as a teacher. After every lost sale, there's valuable insight about your pitch, your offer, or your process that can guide you toward improvements. He suggests asking kindly after a rejection, "What's holding you back?" Or, "Is there a better way I could support you?" This isn't about convincing, it's about learning. When clients share their honest feedback, they help you refine your conversation, your timing, and your value proposition. Gitomer also reminds us that rejection often masks deeper truths. Maybe the product isn't quite right, the timing is off, or the fit isn't ideal. When you listen without taking it personally, you open yourself to growth. You adjust your questions, sharpen your presentations, and build empathy. With each no, salespeople gain clarity. They learn to focus on better prospects, stronger messaging, and improved strategies. They learn to align what they offer with what the customer truly needs. By chapter's end, Gitomer's message rings loud and clear: don't run from rejection, embrace it. Let each no guide your growth until it leads you to a confident, informed, and resounding yes. Headphone Chapter 8. Build a powerful referral system. In this chapter, Gitomer explores an often overlooked yet incredibly effective sales strategy: referrals. No matter how polished your pitch is or how many ads you place, nothing beats the trust that comes when someone recommends you personally. He explains that a powerful referral system doesn't happen by accident, you have to build it intentionally. It starts with consistently delivering value so clients feel enthusiastic about telling others. Then, at the right moment, often right after a win, you simply ask, "Do you know anyone else who could benefit from this?" It's straightforward, respectful, and backed by performance. Gitomer emphasizes that appreciation is crucial. Even a simple thank you card or a small gift shows clients how much you value their recommendation. That gesture reinforces goodwill and leads to more referrals down the road. Clients feel confident sending people your way because you made them feel important. He also explains that timing matters. The best time to ask is right when the client is most excited, right after a problem is solved or a result is achieved. That emotional high makes it easier for them to think of others who could use the same solution. Finally, Gitomer reminds us that a referral system isn't just for new leads, it's a statement about your integrity. It shows you care about relationships more than just sales. When people refer you, they become part of your sales team. They want to share the value you provided because the experience was real and positive. By the end of the chapter, you'll see that consistent, respectful referral generation creates a sustainable source of high-quality leads, with better conversion, lower acquisition costs, and more trust. It's the sales equivalent of planting seeds that keep bearing fruit long after the first sale. Headphone Chapter 9. Develop a daily sales habit. Jeffrey Gitomer turns the spotlight to consistency in this chapter, emphasizing that the secret behind top-performing salespeople isn't genius, it's routine. He says that daily habits build momentum, and small efforts repeated consistently lead to extraordinary results. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough every week. What you need is a single habit you commit to every day. Could be making 5 calls, writing 1 follow-up email, learning something new about your industry, or even sending a thank you note. Whatever it is, the key is showing up, without exception. Gitomer shares true stories of reps who transformed their results simply by being reliable, showing up at the same time, doing the same small tasks, and tracking their outcomes. Over weeks and months, their gains stacked until their sales pipelines were stronger than ever. He also stresses the psychological benefit. Consistency builds your credibility, not just with clients, but with yourself. When you honor your commitments, you reinforce a mindset of professionalism and integrity. You begin trusting your own ability to produce results. Daily habit creation is not about overwhelming yourself with to-do lists. It's about selecting one meaningful, high-impact activity and making it non-negotiable. Day after day, week after week. By chapter's end, you'll understand that while talent helps, it's habit that builds empires. The compound value of daily action propels you beyond luck or circumstance. Sales success isn't just about skill, it's about consistent discipline that becomes part of who you are. Headphone Chapter 10. Never stop learning. In this chapter, Gitomer emphasizes that exceptional salespeople are exceptional learners. The world of sales is constantly evolving, new technologies, shifting buyer behaviors, changing markets. To stay ahead, you must be committed to ongoing learning, not just when things go wrong. He encourages building a personal growth habit, reading sales books, listening to podcasts, attending workshops, or finding a mentor. Even devoting 10 minutes a day to learning compounds into lasting improvement, sharper techniques, better confidence, and fresher energy. Gitomer also challenges the idea that, "I already know enough." That's a mindset that leads to stagnation. Instead, he models intellectual curiosity, asking questions like, "What can I do better?" and "Who in my network is doing it right?" He shares stories of sales pros who renewed their careers through new strategies or new industries. One switch, like learning a high-demand tech platform, opened doors to higher-paying clients and fresh excitement. By the end of the chapter, the message is clear: learning isn't optional, it's essential. The more you sharpen your mind, the deeper your impact, and the longer your sales success lasts. Headphone Chapter 11. Deliver your promises. In this chapter, Gitomer emphasizes that your word is everything. In sales, making a promise is easy, but fulfilling it consistently is rare. And it's the rare follow-through that builds trust, turns customers into repeat buyers, and sets you apart from everyone else. He encourages you to commit carefully. Only promise what you can deliver, then exceed expectations whenever possible. Whether it's delivering a proposal on time, honoring a discount, or following up when you said you would, keeping your word builds credibility. Gitomer shares real-life examples of salespeople who transformed ordinary deals into loyal relationships simply by doing what they said, and even going a step further. It might be a personal call after delivery, a small extra effort, or checking in to make sure everything is working as intended. These gestures communicate care and professionalism in a way that talking alone cannot. He also warns against underestimating small commitments. A missed email or promise not kept can erode trust quickly, and rebuilding it takes far longer. In contrast, reliable delivery strengthens your professional brand and makes future sales easier. By the end of the chapter, the message is clear: sales isn't just about closing a deal, it's about keeping it. Your reputation is built on follow-through. When you consistently deliver your promises, customers trust you. They refer others. And that's the power of integrity in sales. Headphone Chapter 12. Think long-term. In this final chapter, Gitomer brings everything full circle by urging us to view sales as a long-term journey, not a series of transactions. He reminds us that the most successful salespeople don't chase quick wins. They invest in relationships that grow over years. It starts with how you treat customers from day one, with respect, attentiveness, and genuine care. Then, even after the sale is made, your job continues. You follow up, inquire about satisfaction, share knowledge, and stay in touch. These small acts send a bigger message than any pitch: you value the person behind the business. Gitomer also reminds you to stay curious about your customers' world. As their needs and challenges evolve, your role shifts from vendor to advisor, someone who grows with them and adapts to what they need next. That kind of loyalty fosters repeat business and solid referrals. He warns against the trap of chasing new leads while neglecting existing clients. It's often more profitable and easier to deepen relationships with people who already know and trust you. Loyal clients don't just buy, they advocate, refer, and expand your reach. By the end of the chapter, Gitomer lays down a final truth: sales isn't just a profession, it's a relationship business. When you plant seeds with excellence, cultivate them with care, and think in years instead of weeks, you create a legacy, a career built not on numbers, but on trust, value, and enduring partnerships.